OYEDAYO FOLORUSHUN. I welcome you all this morning to our newspaper review.
Yeah, no, well, you can join us on our Facebook and listen live on Radio Garden or on our website at www.vicinity953fm.com.ng. And I'll be taking top stories from The Punch, Nigerian Tribune, and Daily Trust.
And I'll be taking us through the Nation newspaper, the Vanguard newspaper, and the Daily Post newspaper.
Good morning.
Good morning.
From Vicinity FM 95.3.
Good morning.
And a quick look at The Punch this morning. APC set stage for Saturday convention with zonal elections. Court upholds $13 million for feature tied to Achimoglu U.S.-Iran war. FG reopens fuel imports. Dangote reels from FX losses. And PDP factions open peace talks as Wike denies splits. Kebbi attack, gunmen kill 10 security officers. 24-year-old Nigerian jailed for life in UK. And UK leads as Nigeria's capital importation. It's $6.4 billion.
And on the Nation headline this morning, Turaki Group dumps Makinde, embraces Wike, backed ESCO. Peaceful APC zonal congresses endorse Tinubu for re-election. CBN stops payments for remittance in dollars. Court void CBN takeovers of union banks. Article wrongs on OPL 254 dispute resolution, says AGF. Turaki Group dump Makinde's, embraces Wike's, backed ESCOs. And that's all I have on the Nation headline this morning.
And moving to Daily Trust, many feared dead as speed collapses in Kano. Misinformation, distrust, discouraging youth from voting, and Mukbitan, 11 soldiers, police officers killed in Kebbi ambush. 2027 Congresses clear coast for Tinubu. 3 killed as violence erupts in Nasarawa community. Court orders final forfeiture of $13 million linked to Achimoglu's firm. After 8 children, women gives birth to quintuplets. The story is on the Daily Trust.
And on the Daily Post this morning, police arrest 4 suspected cultists, recover firearms in Edo. Osho 2026, INEC charges stakeholders to safeguard credible polls. Troops neutralize bandits in Zamfara. Ministry pro-chancellors address rumored crisis in Ebonyi Federal University. ADC in last stage battle after emerging leading opposition in Senate. Pathetic woes of Plateau community sharing muddy ponds with animals. And that's all I have on the Daily Post this morning.
Now taking top stories from Nigerian Tribune. PDP crisis, Turaki, Wike group softens stance. We have broken the ice, Turaki. Convention won't prevent reconciliation. Wike. NBA condemns Shaware over misuse of courtroom. Court shift verifies $1 billion right suit against ICPC. IGP orders FG defends OPL 245 settlement, accuses critics of misrepresentation. ADC words Congress's old April 17 convention, April 14. Rising fuel prices, Petron FG to elevate hardship of Nigerians.
And on the Vanguard headline this morning, dollars to naira exchange rate today, March 26, 2026. Again, terrorists kill hunter in Kwara community, attack NSCDC office. Non-oil exporters 6 one-stop system to tackle setback, boost market access. Governor Yusuf sacks Commissioner of Commerce. El-Rufai made greatest mistake by surrendering himself Dalung. CBN removes cash pooling requirement for IOCs, while petrol prices remain high, Dangote. And that's all I have on the Vanguard headline this morning.
And bring in all the details of this headlines in a bit. Don't go anywhere.
Music, sports,
In towards Lukaku.
entertainment, politics, all on your darling station, Vicinity 95.3 FM, Ikejile, Ijesha.
Thanks for staying with us on Newspaper Review this morning. Now bringing you the details of stories on our dailies. PDP factions open peace talks as Wike denies split. The two People's Democratic Party factions have restarted the faltering peace process ahead of March 29 and 30 National Convention being championed by the bloc led by the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory in some Wike, the bloc headed by Taminu Turaki San and supported by the party governors confirmed on Wednesday that a fresh reconciliation process aimed at uniting aggrieved factions within the party had commenced. Turaki, who disclosed this while addressing newsmen in Abuja, explained that the reconciliation, which was kick-start on Tuesday night, is yielding some results. Among the story, it's on the Punch.
And on the Nation newspaper, peaceful APC zonal congresses endorsed Tinubu for re-election. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was yesterday endorsed by zonal congresses of the All Progressive Congress for next year's poll. Across the 6 geopolitical zones, the newly inaugurated zonal executive committees reiterated their loyalty for the party and vowed to mobilize mass support for the president's re-election bid. The zonal officers were re-elected by consensus during the peaceful congresses held in Lagos. The zonal congress and the final congress before the National Convention, which will hold on Saturday in Abuja, it will be attended by 7,200 delegates. Federal Capital Territory Police Commissioner Sanusi said the police are set for the APC convention and that of all the People's Democratic Party on Sunday.
Still on the Punch, APC, the All Progressives Congress set stage for Saturday convention with zonal elections. The zonal executives of the All Progressives Congress emerged on Wednesday, pledging to mobilize overwhelming votes for President Bola Tinubu to secure a landslide victory in the 2027 election. The Congress was a prelude to the National Convention scheduled for March 27 and 28 in Abuja. Prior to the convention, the President on Wednesday evening returned to Abuja after observing the Eid al-Fitri's celebration in Lagos. Tinubu had earlier returned to Nigeria on Friday from the United Kingdom. His return to Abuja and successful conduct of the zonal congresses across the 6 geopolitical zones of the country signaled that the party was ready for the convention.
And still on the Nation newspaper this morning, Turaki Group dumps Makinde, embraces Wike-backed EXCO. Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde may have been left in the cold with yesterday's decision of determining Turaki Group to embrace the Wike-backed National Caretaker Working Committee. Turaki told reporters that it was time to shed the sword and reconcile with the Abdurrahman Mohammed-led NCWC for peace to reign in the party. This position contradicts what Makinde said twice in the last 5 days. In Bauchi on Sunday during his visit to Governor Bala Muhammad, Makinde he would not leave the PDP but vowed never to work with the weakest backed Mohammed NCWC. He added that working with the NCWC would amount to support the re-election of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, an ideal he does not believe in. For more on this, we can find it on the Nation newspaper this morning.
And now coming to the story on Punch, Kebbi attack, gunmen killed 10 security officers. Gunmen on Tuesday night killed 10 security personnel, 9 soldiers, and 1 police officer in a deadly ambush on troops in Kebbi State. The incident occurred in the Giromasa community, Shanga local government area, where the assailants also burned 2 military gun trucks and reportedly left several civilians dead or injured. Kebbi State Governor Nasir Idris confirmed the attack on Wednesday after visiting victims at the Federal Teaching Hospital in Birnin, Kebbi, describing the incident as barbaric and unacceptable. The governor lamented the loss of a security personnel who he said died in the line of duty. A sad one there this morning.
And still on the Nation newspaper, CBN stops payment of remittance in dollar. Beneficiaries of diaspora remittance will no longer be able to collect money sent to them in dollar or any other foreign currency. It will only be in naira. The Central Bank of Nigeria yesterday issued this directive, which will take effect on the May 1st. To give effect to this new order, the Apex Bank directed all international money transfer organizations to open naira settlement account. With this, the operators are to henceforth route all remittance transactions through the naira settlement account. The CBN stated that the latest policy was aimed at the opening diaspora remittance while improving transparency, traceability, and monitoring of foreign exchange forex flow. In a circular signed by Musa, CBN's Director of Trade and Exchange Department, the Apex Bank stated that the directive encompasses all transactions related to international money transfers, including disbursement to beneficiaries and other settlements.
Still on the Punch, court upholds $13 million for feature tied to Achimugu. The Federal Court in Abuja on Wednesday affirmed a fine for feature of $13 million linked to Lagos socialite Aisha Achimugu and her company Ocean Gate Engineering Oil and Gas to the federal government, delivering judgment. Justice Emeka Nwete held that the funds had been sufficiently established by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission as proceeds of fraud and unlawful activities. The courts gave the ruling in a suit instituted by Ocean Gate Engineering, which sought to reclaim the funds. Justice Nwete held that the company failed to satisfactorily explain the source of the money, noting that the FCC met all legal requirements to justify its forfeiture.
And on the Vanguard newspaper this morning, all 6 geopolitical zones rally behind Tinubu as APC holds congresses. The All Progressive Congress, APC, yesterday moved to consolidate its 2027 electoral push as key party organs across the 6 geopolitical zones held largely each free congresses, re-electing zonal leaders and closing rank behind President Bola Tinubu. In a major political signal, the North Central Zone formally adopted President Tinubu as its sole candidate for the 2027 presidential election, while other zones echoed unity and readiness to deliver block votes. Secretary to the government of the Federation, Senator George Akume, led North Central stakeholders to endorse President Tinubu its Zonal Congress in Lafia, Nasarawa State. The motion, seconded by Governor Abdullahi Sule, was anonymously adopted by governors, ministers, and party chieftains.
Still on the Punch newspaper, EFCC blocked contractors from installing substandard transmission lines. Oluwafunke. On that story, the executive chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Oluwafunke, on Wednesday disclosed that the commission intervened in 2024 to stop a contractor mobilized by the Ministry of Power from executing a project with fake and substandard transmission lines. Oluwafunke made the disclosure in Abuja while receiving the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of the Nigerian Electricity Management Services Agency, Olusegun Adeshayo, who paid a courtesy visit to the Commission's headquarters. According to a statement by EFCC spokesman Dele Oyewale, the FCC boss said the contractor was investigated by the FCC and found to have imported fake transmission lines that could have posed danger to the nation.
And still on the Vanguard newspaper, out of school children climbs to 273 million globally, UNESCO. The number of children and young people out of school worldwide has climbed to 273 million, the United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization said. UNESCO, in its 2026 Global Education Monitoring Report, stated that the number of out-of-school children and young people have climbed to the 7th consecutive year. The report finds that 1 in 6 school-age children is excluded from education, while only 2 in 3 complete secondary school. Progress has also slowed across most regions since 2015, with conflicts and population growth among the main drivers. In conflict zones, the situation is even more acute, with millions more children out of school than official figures capture. Global enrollment has risen sharply, with more than 25 additional children accessing school every minute since the year 2000. For more on this, we can find it on the Vanguard newspaper this morning.
Before I move away from the Punch, US-Iran war, FG reopens fuel imports, Dangote reels from FX losses. The federal government has lifted its ban on fuel imports, granting 6 new licenses for the importation of premium motor spirits following concerns over supply amid geopolitical tensions in the Middle East. The move marks a sharp reversal of Nigeria's recent policy aimed at reducing dependence on imported fuel. This comes as Dangote Petroleum Refinery grapples with mounting foreign exchange losses, highlighting the challenges of the Naira for crude arrangement. A senior management official of the $20 billion Lekki-based firm disclosed that the deal's inefficiency has eroded potential earnings, even as regulators seek to stabilize domestic fuel supply. It's no news that since the US-Iran Middle East conflict began, it's really telling on our energy and oil sector. And at this point, well, the federal government think it is important for us to start importing, in as much as we've heard from, stakeholders. There've been this issue of importing of crude, or since we have a Nigerian-based refinery, but at this point, we do not have reserve. We're not a country that plans ahead. So when something hits us like this, the only thing we can do is find a way to grapple with what is left.
And on the Vanguard newspaper, it's nothing to worry about. Felix Moka displays Oyo APC crisis. The National Publicity Secretary of the All Progressive Congress, Felix Moka, has dismissed concern over report tension within the party in Oyo State, saying the situation does not amount to a crisis. Moka, who spoke on a media chat on Wednesday, said the development reflects routine political engagement among party members rather than any serious internal rift. According to him, disagreements are expected in the party of APC sides, particularly when multiple aspirants are jostling for position. Addressing the issue surrounding the 5.1 million naira reportedly paid by an aspirant, Fubara Dagugu, Moka maintained that the party follows clearly defined procedures and that payments are made voluntarily by participants who understand the rules. He added that the party remains open to addressing any concerns raised by its members, including issues related to payments.
And now coming to Daily Trust, we'll be bringing details on the stories in a bit. Don't go anywhere.
Politics. All on your darling station, Vicinity 95.3 FM, Ikejile, Ijesha.
Good morning.
Good morning.
From Vicinity FM 95.3.
Good morning. Oh my God, so I need. Listen here. Cocoa
sí Ọlọ́run bàbá wa lókè ọ̀run. Glory to God our Father in heaven. Ọdún àjíǹde ló wọlé dé yìí. Pé ká lè gbádùn rẹ̀ nílé iṣẹ́ rédíò wa yín. Vicinity 95.3 FM Ìkejì Ilé Ìjẹ̀ṣà fi gbé ètò ìyìn àjíǹde kalẹ̀. Èyí tó bí àkòrí ayọ̀ tí bojì tó ṣòfò. Joy of an empty tomb. Oh yes. Ètò gbogbo ní Easter Monday April 6 ọdún yìí ni. Ojúkọ ẹ̀ ní Ìkejì Ilé Mini Stadium Odò Ìpòrò Ìkejì Ilé Ìjẹ̀ṣà nípínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun. Aago 12 ọ̀sán lètò á bẹ̀rẹ̀. Dr. Akọ́ládé Ọmọbàbá Overseer OBO General Manager Vicinity FM wáyé lólùgbàlejò gbogbo ènìyàn. Ọ̀fẹ́ ló bá dé o. Àwọn olórin ẹ̀mí ọjọ́ yẹn ni Tọ́pẹ́ Olútókun àṣẹ ìrọ̀rùn. Ṣèyí Àjó Zack Voices Ijó Buki Sam Praise Emerald Melody Lékan Rẹ̀mílẹ́kún Amos Sóyọ̀sí Akínyẹ̀ ìbùkún ni fún mi. Tóyè Abiyamọ tó fi máwọn erédé band Hallelujah band pẹ̀lú àwọn Vicinity FM crew. Fàlàyé sí ẹ pè Chairman Committee sórí tẹlifon 090-333-71818 lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí 090-333-71818. Gbogbo ènìyàn lápè káwá yin Jésù tí a pa tó sì jíǹde kúrò ní òkú nítorí ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ayé gbogbo. Hallelujah.
Oh my God, he lived so I live.
Yes, thanks for staying tuned on Vicinity Newspaper Review this morning. That's a comment on our Facebook page by Uma Olebera. Dr. Mrs. Uma Olebera from Owerri said Nigeria is the 6th largest oil producing country and ranked the 7th world's greatest producer of crude, yet one of the greatest importers of refined oil. Just looked at Nigerians buying fuel, diesel and kerosene at cost higher than non-crude producing countries. None of the promises of building and renovating the moribund industries was fulfilled. A country that is blessed with both human and natural resources. Sad that we have a government that doesn't feel the pulse of its citizens. Well, that hits hard. Now, coming back to the story on Daily Trust, 3 killed as violence erupts in Nasarawa community. The 3 people have been killed in a violent clash in Mararaba Gurku community in Karo local government area of Nasarawa state. The incident occurred around 9 a.m. on Wednesday in the Aso A area and reportedly began as a dispute between vigilante and a herder. Residents said the herder had allegedly led his cattle into the vigilante's farmland and begun cutting down a mango tree to feed the animals. A confrontation ensued during the vigilante Sunday Adeoye reportedly retrieved a firearm and shot dead a 17-year-old herder Ado Yao.
And moving to the Daily Post newspaper this morning, Osho 2026, INEC charges stakeholders to safeguard credible polls. As the Independent National Electoral Commission intensifies its grassroots engagement strategy across Osun State, election stakeholders have been charged to take greater responsibility for ensuring credible elections. The INEC Resident Electoral Commission in the state, Dr. Mutiu Agboke, gave this charge during a series of stakeholders meetings held in Oshogbo, Ede North and Ede South local government council areas on Wednesday. Addressing participants drawn from political parties, transport unions, security agencies, and civil society organizations, Dr. Agboke emphasized that the credibility of the electoral process depended largely on collective adherence to electoral guidelines. He stressed that no candidate would be declared winner without securing the mandate of voters. The REC explained that the decision to hold meetings across all local government areas were aimed at engaging stakeholders within their respective communities. For more on this, we can find it on the Daily Post newspaper this morning.
2027 Congress's clear coast for Tinubu. Weeks till the stipulated date for the commencement of primary elections by political parties, the All Progressives Congress, APC, has moved closer towards adopting President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as the party's sole presidential candidate for the 2027 elections. In the revised timetable by the Independent National Electoral Commission, the conduct of party primaries, including resolution of disputes arising from primaries will commence on April 23rd and end on May 30. Still on that story, all the 6 zones of the APC Wednesday held their congresses upholding their resolve to support President Tinubu as party's flag bearer in the next general elections. This is sequel to a similar declaration made by state chapters of the party at their various congresses weeks earlier. But if you look at INEC new 2026 electoral guidelines, it stipulates that there must be primary, and this issue of yes, we have consensus candidate should be looked into. At this point, well, APC has it's moving towards maybe just not organizing a primary and just saying two are across the incumbent president, giving him another chance at a second term in the presidential villa. For more on the story, it's on the Daily Trust.
Police arrest 4 suspected cultists, recover firearms in Edo. Operatives of the Edo State Police Command have arrested 4 suspected cult members and recovered a cache of firearms during a targeted operation in Uromi, Esan, Northeast Local Government area. The operation, carried out in the early hours of March 24th, was based on credible intelligence, according to the statement by the Police Public Relations Officer, ASP Eno Ikedam. Items recovered from the suspects include 4 pump-action rifles, 9 live cartridges. Preliminary findings by the police suggest that the suspects are affiliated with the Aye confraternity and that the weapons in their possession were illegally obtained. Reacting to the development, the Commissioner of Police in the state, Monday Agbonika, commended the operatives of their professionalism and swift response, noting that the command would continue its intensified operations against cultism and the spread of illegal arms.
You can join the conversation this morning before we go on the show. The number to call is 081-3237-1268, 081-3237-1268, and you can leave a comment on our Facebook. Let's hear your thoughts on some of the stories making round on our dailies this morning. Now, coming back to Daily Trust, misinformation, distrust, discouraging youth from voting. Mukwito, Chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Josh Mukwito, has identified misinformation, distrust in the electoral process, and low civic awareness as major drivers of voter apathy among young Nigerians. He stated this on Wednesday at the unveiling of a revised national voter education manual targeted at young Nigerians, organized by Kimpact's Development Initiative in Abuja. The INEC boss, represented by the chairman of the Commission's Information and Voter Education Committee, Alhaji Mohammed Aruna, noted that many Nigerians have lost confidence in elections, often believing that their votes do not count.
And still on the Daily Post newspaper, troops neutralize bandits in Zamfara. Troops has neutralized several bandits operating in Zamfara state in what appears to be a move to curb attacks on travelers in the area. The development was contained in a post shared on Wednesday on X by security analyst Bakatsin. According to the post, the operation took place around Gadamaya on the outskirts of Anka local government area. The bandits were said to be responsible for blocking the Gurusu-Gashi route, where they reportedly carried out kidnapping and attacks on road users. This evening, troops neutralized several bandits in Gaza Maya outskirts, Anka local government, Zamfara state. The group were known for blocking the Gurusu-Gwashi way and adopting travelers. For more on this, you can find it on the Daily Post newspaper.
11 soldiers, police officer killed in Kirby and Bush. No fewer than 11 soldiers and police officer have reportedly been killed in an ambush by gunmen in the Giromasa community, Shanga local government area of Kirby State. The attack occurred on Tuesday night when security operatives believed to have been operating in the area for some time traced the gunmen to a construction company yard. Following a tip-off, it was learned that soldiers were dispatched to secure the site but were ambushed along the way. The police officer and soldiers lost their lives in the attack, and 2 military trucks were set on fire. The Kebbi State Governor Nasir Idris visited the accident and emergency unit of the Federal Teaching Hospital buried in Kebbi, where the victims were admitted. While we continue to hear reports of our troops, recording success on some of the operations in the north region, then we've continued to see even troops fall in the hands of these very disgruntled elements. And at this time, we have to do something about this. These are men who have dedicated their lives to the service of the nation. They have families, they have loved ones, and they are humans.
And still on the Daily Post newspaper this morning, ADC in last state battle after emerging leading operations in Senate. The African Democratic Congress, ADC, penultimate week emerged as the main minority party in the National Assembly. Daily Post reports that this came as 9 senators switched allegiance from other parties to the ADC, while the PDP, previously the main opposition party, saw its numbers of senators decrease. It could be recalled that the PDP had 36 senators at the inauguration of the 10th National Assembly in June 2023. Following the development, APC now has 87 senators, ADC has 9, PDP has 6, Accord has 1, APGA also has 1. Meanwhile, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, will hold fresh elections to fill the 3 vacant seats of Nasarawa North, Enugu North, and Rivers State East, which became vacant due to the passing away of the respective senators. For more on this, we can find it on the Daily Post newspaper this morning.
Now to wrap it up, our newspaper review this morning, because time is not on our side. I take the story from Nigerian Tribune. Rising petrol prices. Petron wants FG to elevate hardship of Nigerians. Operators under the auspices of the Petroleum Product Retail Outlets Owners Association of Nigeria has called on the federal government to urgently implement temporary intervention measures to shield Nigerians from the continuous rise in the prices of petroleum products across the country. The call by the group is hinged on the steady increase in the pump price of petrol in the last 3 weeks due to the global oil disruption as a result of the Middle East crisis, which has placed significant financial pressure on citizens, businesses, and the broader economy, justifying the need for urgent interventions. National President of Petron, Dr. Billy Gillis-Ari, said the ripple effects were evident in rising transportation costs, increased prices of goods and services, and a general strain on the cost of living. Well, this is no news anymore that since the Middle East conflict began, Nigeria has continued, to face the impact of this all. Now, Petron is calling on the government to ease the hardship. Just recently, the governor of your state, decided to hard 10,000 naira to ease the hardship of workers in the state. We know state governors can do more, and all stakeholders should be ready, to ease the hardship on Nigerians. This is where we'll bring newspaper review to our close this morning. Thank you for making it a time with us on the show, and we appreciate your comment on our Facebook page. Until tomorrow, do have yourself a great day. I'm Oluwafunke Israel, producer Mujib Olakunle, and executive producer Akolade Adekola. Bye for now.
And thanks for joining us today on our newspaper review this morning. I am OYEDAYO FOLORUSHUN. Have a pleasant day ahead.